So, good morning everyone. My name is Arajin Goko from BS Ed second year major in Filipino. So, today I will gonna discuss about the submersion bilingual education. But first, let us know what is submersion and bilingual education. So, submersion is a sink or swim method to learning a second language. So, it is a method in which the learners can learn their second language. Then, bilingual education, a language policy in education under which two languages are used as medium of instruction, such as the native language or the mother tongue in the second language. So, dito naman is na-acquire ng learners yung two medium language instruction like the native language or yung mother tongue in the second language. So, first, the submersion metaphor describes education as holding the learner underwater without access to life, sustaining air, similar to use of L2 as medium of instruction without L1 support. So, dito is, the submersion metaphor describes the education that learner 2 or the L2 as the medium of instruction can get or can acquire the second language, without the help or without the support of L1. Another metaphor of submersion education, as depicted at right, references the existence of a weak bridge as the one of the bottom of the picture, created by using an unknown language as the medium of instruction or MOI, while the mother tongue is permitted only as an auxiliary language. So dito naman, the submersion education depicted that the mother tongue is only a permitted language or permitted to be a auxiliary language or yung helping language lang in order to acquire the second language. Then also, they are creating or using an unknown language as their medium of instruction. Then, some learners may make it across the bridge, often exhibiting great fatigue, while others may be swept away by low achievements or dropping out of school entirely. So, dito naman is described that some learners can make it across the bridge. Like for example, in classroom basis, that if you have students that having, kumbaga meron mga students na they can acquire the second language, but meron din namang mga student that they can only acquire and understand their own language, such as the native language or the mother tongue. So dito nagkakaroon ng problem because yung ibang students is nahihirapan sila in order to understand or to be in order to compete with other students if they cannot fully understand what is the second language, because yun nga na first language lang yung alam nila. So dito nagkakaroon ng dropout. Those who fall the bridge often miss desirable and meaningful job opportunities. The MT provides a strong bridge as one of the picture at the top, enabling learners to move freely and easily between home and school, using all their languages proficiency and acquire strong global competence. So kung dito naman, meron like for example, pag naghahanap ng trabaho, if you only can speak and understand the first language, which is the native language, mahihirapan ka or mamimiss mo yung mga desirable and meaningful job opportunities na para sa'yo, because that you only can speak and understand the first language. Na kapag hindi mo alam yung second language, which is like for example, pag naghanap ka ng trabaho, then yung position na gusto mong mapuntahan is hindi accessible yung spot para sa'yo. Kasi you can only speak your native language. Then the job opportunity na papasukan mo is speak or gagamit ng second language. So, paano ka nila i-hire o paano ka makakapasok sa trabaho na yun if you can only speak your own language? Hindi naman lahat ng tao is makakaintindi ng language mo in a specific places lang naman maaaring magamit, or like for example is yung mga language lang na sa inyo lang or ikaw lang yung nakakaalam. Kaya nagkakaroon or ng miss desirable and meaningful job opportunities sa mga tao. But The MT provides strong bridge as the picture of the top, enabling learners to move freely and easily between home and school. Then, meron din naman na kapag lahat ng learners ay alam ang mother tongue, then the learners can move freely and easily between home and school. Makakasabay sila sa mga learners or sa mga bata din na katulad nila if kaparehas ng language na gagamitin nila. Kaya nga dito is papasok yung tinatawag na learning the second language, kung saan lahat ng mga bata is magkakaintindihan. Dito na papasok yung tinatawag na medium of instruction language, na kung saan is merong isang language na pinag-aaralan at alam ng lahat, na yun yung gagamitin nila in order to easily communicate and also easily understand the learnings rather. Then, in cases of submersion, the underlying assumption is that the MT or the mother tongue hinders the learning of the L2 and thus should be avoided at all costs. This is where the idea of English-only campuses came from. However, the idea that L1 is a hindrance to L2 development has been shown to be false. So dito, according to some researcher, they come up with the ideas that English-only campuses came from na idea. But however, the L2 development has been shown to be false to L1 dahil hindi naman lahat is kayang magsalita ng English. Kaya dito papasok yung tinatawag na mother tongue, kung saan is in the specific province is papasok doon yung tinatawag na mother tongue learning nila, na kung saan is yung klase nila is ginagamit yung mother tongue language. Like for example, now in a public school, I think from grade 1 to grade 3 is meron silang subject na mother tongue, kung saan yun yung ginagamit as their medium of instruction language, na na-acquire ng mga students yung learnings na mas naiintindihan nila using the mother tongue language. It is according to Batscam of 2003, Cook of 2001, Hals and al. Manasser of 2012, He of 2012, Littlewood and Yu of 2011, Mohan of 2013, Sparks et al. Of 2010, Sparks 2012, Turnbull 2001, Turnbull and Daly, Okan of 2009, thou that notions remain widely held by parents and educators around the world due to the lack of access to research findings. So until now, it is on process of research finding according to some researcher. The former Bilingual Education Policy or BEP of the DepEd is classified as submersion education. Why? Because learners were immersed in both Filipino and English from the beginning without adequate support through the mother tongue or the MT. There has been some confusion by educators and teachers in assuming the BEP or the Bilingual Education Policy on the educators and with the common practice of code switching is a form of MTBMLE. So dito, nakapaloob dito that the bilingual education in DepEd classified as submersion education. Yun na nga yung in-explain ko kanina. Then, this is a false assumption. Even though the BEP allowed the MT or mother tongue as an auxiliary language or yung helping language, the MT literacy was not provided, nor was the MT considered necessary in the learning process, but was discouraged from being used in teaching. Rather, teachers were taught that the best way for learners to learn second languages was to avoid the MT while immersing learners in Filipino and English as an idea research has shown to be false. So, dito, nakapaloob dito na kapag ang mga students is patuloy or kapag ang mga students is nasanay na gamitin yung mother tongue, then mahihirapan silang i-immerse yung sarili nila in order to adapt the second languages or yung medium of instruction na ginagamit nila dahil nakasanayan na nilang gamitin yung mother tongue. So, until now, some researchers only shown to be false na kailangang i-avoid yung mother tongue. But I think now is ginagamit na yung mother tongue as a medium of instruction from grade 1 to grade 3. Ginagamit yung mother tongue as their language, as their medium of instruction language sa kanilang mga klase. Research is now conclusive that avoidance of the mother tongue is one of the most ineffective way of learning second languages. So dito is sinabi na researcher, according to mga researcher, na ineffective ways of learning, ineffective ways of avoidance the mother tongue to learn their second languages. This is exactly why the DepEd has courageously taken on the massive task of changing the language policy. Teacher, trainers, and parents still need to understand the rationale of the DepEd in this policy shift in light of the research so that they are empowered to fully support the changes. So dito na nga until now, na nagkakaroon pa rin sila ng campaign in order to fully understand to teachers, parents, and other trainers that the effectiveness of having mother tongue or having the mother tongue as the medium of instruction language, and also to support the changes in order for them to learn their second language. That's all. Thank you for listening.